Hello everybody, and welcome back to my Let's Play Victoria 2 as Spain, with me, DarkPhoenix Ninja 92. And I have some news for you regarding this Let's Play, and some of you are not going to like this news. You see, I've decided that it's going to be ending extremely soon. It's getting to the point where I just don't enjoy it all that much anymore. And as a result of that, I'm going to end it soon. Not massively soon, though it will be reasonably so. I'm going to end my Let's Play when we reach the year 1900. So, when we finally enter the 20th century, this Let's Play will end. There's a number of reasons for that, but I'll go over that as and when they become relevant. I'm going to move some ships and soldiers around now. And let me see here. Clipper transport. First of all, I have to see. Yeah, I can load all of those guys onto my ships. And we'll move them up there. Let me see. Over into Cuba. No, I'm going to have to go around. So we're going to move those now. And we still have rebel-occupied Cuba by the anarcho-liberals, so I am going to have to crush them. So, first order of business, and I don't really care if this essentially makes my national debts fucking skyrocket. I'm maxing out military spending for the army, because we'll be fighting rebels. And there's nearly 30,000 of them. We can't afford to not spend as much as possible on our military. So, that's what I'll do next. I said to select the boat. Thank you. Liberia is bankrupt. I don't care. Because, yeah, if you remember last time, that was basically my attempt to fix my economy by conquering another colony. But, if anything, that made my economy worse. I kid you not. My economy has gotten worse since I conquered Yemen. I was actually doing better before I did that. Mining efficiency, blah blah blah. And I'm just going to pretty much ignore the newsletters now because I don't care about them. And right now, I'm just going through the commerce tree, hoping and hoping that I will find something in here that will allow me to fix my economy. That next. And we still only have fucking 30% literacy in Spain. That's pathetic. But yes, we're going to have to reposition some of our troops in Yemen, as I'm going to have to call on some of them in order for us to be able... Yemen loses militancy. That's good. Maybe they won't rebel. In order for us to be able to put down this rebellion... that we're having in Cuba. Fortunately, it's a territory-wide rebellion in the mainland Morocco and Cuba, and not a rebellion that we're getting specifically in Cuba. That's the one thing I can say I'm glad about. This is a narco-liberals, not nationalists. If this was a nationalist uprising, we would have some big problems. Because by this point, Cuba would have already gone independent. Since I haven't sent troops over yet, because I don't have enough of them for it to make a difference just yet. We have fuel, wine production output, and elections are happening. And we're moving our guys off this island because it's going to be more of a problem if we ever get a rebellion, because that will be the utter destruction of that army. Wait, what? What the shit? So that's my combat fleet and not the transport? I did not realize this. First of all, we need to build transports. Come on. That was annoying. I think I'll do it the easy way, actually. Build Navy. Steam transports. Let's see. 3 more of them in Europe. Actually, make that 6. And now let's see. We can already put the majority of that army onto the fleet, which is nice. Okay. Are you carrying anything right now, or what? Out into the bay and back will get us our full army again. And right now the Ottomans are fighting a rebellion. That's excellent. And I want to check out the worldwide stuff. Let's see. There's a war between the British and Poland against Russia, which they're winning. Despite Poland being nearly over half occupied by the Russians. I guess this might be good for the British. They're finally managing to win a war. It looks like in this universe we'll be replacing French surrender jokes with British surrender jokes. Please don't take offense, anyone from the UK, but I'm serious. If you've watched this series, then you'll know this. So far in this game, the British have gone to war with France through alliances about 3 or 4 times, And even though they've won every single war, they won it through someone else's contributions. Over half their country was occupied. The mainland was occupied by France by the time those wars ended. Which is kind of ridiculous, actually. Anyways, free trade. And I'm ignoring the newspapers because at this point I just don't give a shit. Jingoist. More militancy in Morocco. Full citizenship. As I said the last time we got an international event about Moroccan independence, well, they can fuck right off. No independence for Morocco. They can go to hell. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but basically, free market. Free trade, you dumbass. I said that before. Let's see. Lose prestige and gain less militancy. Well, at this point, we're never going to become a great power again, so there's not really a whole lot of point to trying to keep up our prestige, I'm afraid. Alliance offer from Belgium. We'll take that. And this is really embarrassing. Freaking Belgium up here has more soldiers than Spain does at this point, and are probably not in the middle of going to shit with their economy. So yeah, I thought I could do a good job as Spain. I basically... I massively fucked that up. Liberal and anarcho-liberal parties got the majority. Will these rebels vanish then? They will not. They will definitely not. Let's see, where are these fleets located at? That's what I would like to know. You can move there. And we're going to combine these guys into the rest of my war fleet. There we go. Now, where? Yeah, and we have a small fleet over in Malaysia, but we cannot actually recruit soldiers there. Bonin Islands, our one colony out in the Pacific. We can make a protectorate. Yeah, we're going to create a protectorate out here, and we might manage to establish one or two tiny colonies in the Pacific, but none of them are going to actually manage to do anything. They're just going to be just there and getting us a tiny bit of money that will keep us just above bankruptcy. That's literally going to be what this is, I think. Let's see. Plenty of transports there. Move your ass over to Yemen and pick these guys up. Factory output. Next, I'll start researching investment banks. Even though I'm fairly certain this will not save Spain's economy. I still want to try it because any chance of us fixing our practically broken economy is worth it, I think. So, the rich or poor can gain militancy. I think I'll pick the rich, because last time I checked, we had more poor people than rich ones. And I'm going to actually read the newspapers. Blah, 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 blah. Belgium afraid of the British. Anarcho-liberals have defeated the Ottoman government. Nothing that matters. Nothing that matters. This doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Those newspapers were both irrelevant. I mean, it was a neat feature at the beginning when I first started reading them, but now they're both tedious and boring, let's be perfectly honest. They don't matter anymore. And stop diverting your course. Man, that's annoying. Okay, now you get on the ships and go over there. There's a diplomatic crisis right now. First of all, we have 29,000 over in Spain, despite the fact they're of our ruling party. 4,000. How many of these? Let's see. We'll take the 9,000 and leave the others to garrison Yemen. And if that little island revolts, then I don't care. But now I think we need to check out this crisis. Return of Poland's rightful territories from Austria-Hungary, is it? Yeah, Austro-Hungarian West Galicia. They want the return of Poland's rightful territories, and Austria-Hungary is backed by the British, who really keep swinging around, because last we saw, they were in a war supporting Poland. And it's between Austria-Hungary and Germany, apparently. Be interesting to see which way that goes. Not that it'll really affect us, seeing as we can do precisely jack shit about that from our current position. And we're almost to the point. No, we don't want militancy in Fez. As I was saying, we're almost to the point where we can take out these rebel scum over in Cuba, finally. Which will be very handy. Italy is joining Germany. This war has the potential to get quite big. Which might be an issue eventually. And I'm kind of worried about how it's going to go. Let's see. As we were saying last time, most of Africa has actually been colonized. There's a few minor uncolonized places down there, and there's Orange, Transvaal, and let's see, Sokoto, Egypt, and Ethiopia as the only sovereign nations in Africa right now. Oman has some African territory, but they don't count. They'll probably lose that soon. And I imagine Egypt will, at least to some degree, be devoured by the Ottoman Empire, because their territory in Africa and their European/Asian bits are not connected by land currently, because this little bit right here, Egypt controls, and the Ottomans can't walk through it, therefore. So I imagine they'll want to do something about that. So anyways, back to moving my ships. We have a dead admiral, and I don't even care. And now I'm going to wait, actually. Stay in port, and for the moment, we are actually going to increase our naval spending as well, just to fix up the ships. And yeah, anything that gets us more money at this point is a good thing. And we won't be fighting a naval battle, so that can go down. But we have some newspapers. Hejaz fears us. We might attack them. I don't know. And again, random crap that I don't care about. And I'm gonna wait until January of '82 to launch our invasion. And Germany took the offer. So I imagine these two are on pretty crappy terms right now. And I didn't actually notice this until I'd loaded up, but Germany has annexed Bavaria. I mean, makes sense. They had cores on the territory, after all. Just like Spain have a core on Gibraltar, or we did up until very recently. I guess it goes away after a certain amount of time. More mining efficiency. And now we're going to load our troops on there. And I'll have them set course for Puerto Rico so they can repair the ships and stuff from attrition on the way. Because attrition will be suffered. That's not in doubt. There we go. Now we wait on the attrition to recover and our army to get back up to full strength. Actually, I can't be bothered to wait on my ships to finish recovering from attrition. We're going to attack now. It's time for these rebel scum to be taught a lesson. So I'll occupy this territory. And then move the fleet over here to blockade. I don't care about any of that, and I accidentally clicked on Haiti without meaning to. Really? You think you can do that? That's cute. Time for you to die now. Yeah, you see what happens when the Spanish finally decide to get around to dealing with you and send in overwhelming force to do so? You die. You die very quickly, and you don't have a small snowball's chance in hell of not dying. Let's be perfectly honest here. When I decide I want you dealt with, you are dealt with very fast indeed. Now these guys can dock, and the occupation and the brutal military occupation of Cuba by the evil political rebels has been lifted. And this expedition and Spain's military expedition over to Cuba can go home soon enough. Though I don't know if they'll be going home or going over to the Middle East to conquer more stuff. Because even though that will probably almost certainly not fix my economy, I have a feeling that I'm not going to want to stop doing so despite that. And we are going to reduce military spending all the way down. For the very simple reason that I want to save money. We'll research that now. And we continue to not care about what's written inside of the papers. And just do the equivalent of glancing at it and throwing it in the trash. Let's see here. Kindly fuck off. We will not be giving you military access. In fact, if I can swing it, we may even be conquering you at some point. And fuck. Rebels in the Middle East. Spain is... I really am not that good at managing rebellions, as you have no doubt figured out by now. We'll move them there, and I'm moving this army over one. Let's see...